It's Memorial Day weekend, and guess what? It's time to read another book. Oh, it's going to go great tonight, can't you already tell? But our battle book, yay! Dr. Seuss. On the last day of summer, 10 hours before fall, my grandfather took me out to the wall. For a while he stood silent, then he finally said, with a very sad shake of his very old head, "As you know, on this side of the wall we are the Yooks, and on the far other side of this wall live the Zooks." Then my grandfather said, "It's high time you knew the terribly horrible thing that Zooks do. In every Zook house and in every Zook town, every Zook eats his bread with the butter side down." I got a cat over here sniffing another book. Horrible kitty. "But we Yooks, as you know, when we breakfast or sup, spread our bread," Grandpa said, "with the butter side up. That's the right, honest way." Grandpa gritted his teeth. "So you can't trust a Zook who spreads bread underneath. Every Zook must be watched. He has kinks in his soul. And that's why as a youth I made watching my goal. Watching Zooks for the Zook watching border patrol." In those days, of course, the wall wasn't so high I could look any Zook square in the eye. If he dared to come close, I would give him a twitch from my tough, tufted, prickly stickberry switch. For a while that worked fine. All the Zooks stayed away and our country was safe. And then one terrible day, very rude Zook by the name of Van Itch snuck up and slingshotted my stickberry switch. My broken off switch with my head hung in shame, to the chief Yukaroo in great sorrow I came. But our leader just smiled and he said, "You're not to blame. And those Zooks will be sorry they started this game. We'll dress you right up in a fancier suit. We'll give you a fancier slingshot shoot." And he ordered the boys in the back room to figure how to build me some sort of triple sling jigger. With my triple sling jigger, I sure felt much bigger. I marched to the wall with great vim and great vigor, right up to Van Itch with my hand on the trigger. "I'll have no more nonsense," I said with a frown, "from Zooks who eat bread with the butter side down." Van Itch looked quite sickly. He ran off quite quickly. Arms raised! Ha ha! I'm unhappy to say he came back the next day in a spiffy new suit with a big new machine, and he snarled as he said, looking frightfully mean, "You may fling those hard rocks with your triple sling jigger, but I also now have my hand on a trigger. My wonderful weapon, the jigger rock snatch 'em, we'll fling 'em right back just as quick as we catch them. We'll have no more nonsense. We'll take no more gup from you Yooks who eat bread with the butter side up." "I failed, sir," I sobbed as I made my report to the chief Yukaroo in the headquarters fort. He just laughed. "You've done nothing at all of the sort. Our slingshots have failed." That was old-fashioned. Slingshots, dear boy, and not modern enough. "All we need is some newfangled kind of a gun. My boys in the back room have already begun to think up a walloping whiz-zinger one. My bright boys are thinking they're on the right track. They'll think up what... My bright boys are thinking they're on the right track. They'll think one up quick and we'll send you right back." Yeah. They thought up a great one. They certainly did. They thought up a gun called the Kickapoo Kid, which they loaded with powerful poo-a-doo powder and ant eggs and bees' legs and dried fried clam chowder. And they carefully trained a real smart dog named Daniel to serve as our country's first gun-toting spaniel. Then Daniel, the Kickapoo Spaniel, and I marched to the wall with our heads held up high while everyone cheered and their cheers filled the sky. "Fight, fight for the butter side up, do or die." Wah! Well, we didn't do, and we didn't quite die, but we sure got worsted, poor Daniel and I. Van Itch was there too, and he said, the old pig, the boys in my back room invented this rig, called the 8-nozzled elephant-toted boom blitz. It shoots high explosive sour cherry stone pits and will put your dumb kickapoo kid in the fritz. Poor Daniel and I were scared out of our wits. Once more by Van Itch I was bested and beat. Once again I limped home from the wall in defeat. I dragged and I sagged and my spirits were low as I thought they could ever go. When I heard a boom-bah and a diddly-dill, and our butter-up band marched up over the hill. The chief Euchre had sent them to meet me, along with the right side up song girls to greet me, and they sang, "Oh, be faithful, believe in thy butter." And they lifted my spirits right out of the gutter. Da, da, da. "My boy," smiled the chief Euchre, "we've just voted and made you a general. You've been promoted. Your pretty new uniform's ready. Get in it. The big war's coming. You're going to begin it. And what's more, this time you're certain to win it." My boys in the back room have finally found how. I can't read worth a crap, can I? Let's start that one over. My boys in the back room have finally found how. Just wait till you see it, what they've puttered up now. In their great new machine, you'll fly over the wall and clobber those buttered down zooks one and all. Ha ha. Not only can I not read, I can't turn a page. Those boys in the back room sure knew how to putter. They made me a thing called the utterly sputter. And I jumped aboard with my heart all flutter, and steered toward the land of upside down butter. This machine was so modern, so frightfully new. No one knew quite exactly just what it would do. It had several faucets that sprinkled blue goo, which somehow would sprinkle the zooks as I flew, and gum up that upside down butter they chew. I'll show you the picture. I was racing pell-mell when I heard a voice yell, "If you sprinkle a zooks, you'll get sprinkled as well." Van Itch had a sputter exactly like mine, and he yelled, "My blue gooer is working just fine." And I'm here to say that if yooks can goo zooks, you'd better forget it, 'cause zooks can goo yooks. Dastardly. And I flew right back home, and as you might have guessed, I was downright despondent, disturbed, and depressed. And I saw just as soon as I stepped back on land, so were all the girls of the butter-up band. The chief drum majorette, Miss Yuki Ann Sue, said, "That was a pretty sour flight that you flew, and the chief Euchre has been looking for you." The scandal. I raced to his office. The place was a sight. "Have no fear," said the chief. "Everything's all right. My bright back room boys have been brighter than bright, and they've thought up a gadget that's newer than new. It's filled with a mysterious moo-like-a-moo that can blow all the zooks clear to Shalamagoo. They've invented the Bitsy Big Boy Boomeroo. You just run to the wall like a little nice, you just run to the wall like a nice little man. Drop this bomb on the zooks just as fast as you can. I've ordered all the yooks to stay fun to ground while the Bitsy Big Boomeroo is around." My. As I raced for that wall with the bomb in my hand, I noticed every last yook in our land was obeying our chief Euchre's grim command. They were all bravely marching with banners aflutter down a hole for their country, the right side up butter. And that's when Grandfather found me. He grabbed me, he said, "You'd be down in that hole, but you're up here instead. But perhaps this is all for the better somehow. You'll see me make history right here and right now." Gotta show you the picture. Grandpa leapt up that wall with a lopulous leap, and he cleared his hoarse throat. When the populace peeped, he screamed, "Here's the end of that terrible town full of zooks who eat bread with the butter side down." And at that very instant, we heard a clup clup of feet on the wall. Old Van Itch clumped up. The boys in his back room had made him one too. In his fist was another big boy boomeroo. "I'll blow you," he yelled, "into pork and wee beans. I'll butter side up you to small smithereens." "Grandpa," I shouted, "be careful. Oh, gee, who's going to drop it? Will you? Or will he?" "Be patient," said Grandpa. "We'll see. We'll see." The end. Have a great Memorial Day. Bye.